Hi Leos, how are you this morning? My name's Jill and this is Tarot by the Sea, and this is going to be your reading from the 16th to the 31st of October 2017. I am really struggling over my words with you this morning, Leo. I don't know what's going on. I wonder if there's an issue with your communication. It's the third reading that I've done for you. I've run out of memory, even though I've cleared all the other videos off my computer. So I've had to redo your reading and I am struggling with it. So I'm wondering about communication for you at the moment. The reading that I've just had for you was talking about how exhausted you might be and how things are a little bit too much at the moment. So I wondered maybe whether that's it. I wonder whether you've got a lot going on. There has been a lot going on astrologically for Leos in the last couple of months. Bear with me. It's not flowing for you. It's not flowing for you. And things aren't going to plan. I had this all planned out. I knew how I was going to do the reading, and it's not going to plan. You have had two of the same cards as came up in your last reading, and you've got suddenly... Oh, you've only got two. Okay. Right. Leo, hello. We're going to start again from here. Okay. And that, I think, is your overview card. Okay, Leo, this is your reading from the 16th to the 31st of October 2017. I am focusing, this is the way that it's going to be. Hopefully that's the way it's going to be for you too. We're using the Wisdom of the Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reid, which the box is over on the other side of the room. I have said that 3 times and I meant to go and get it and I haven't done it. So I don't know where your heads are. I don't know where your heads are. The 3 cards that came up first that I actually did in your last reading have actually come up in this one too, in a different order, and in this card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this card again. I'm going to put these ones back where they were, and you've actually got quite a big spread now. And we're going to put things in order, okay? This is what we're doing. So I'm going to move these across here. And those ones are there. The first 5 cards that I have for you, I believe, are for the beginning part of this period. The cards that follow are for the second part of this period. But it may not turn out like that, because things are not going to plan for Leo at the moment. There is something going on with you that is not going to plan. So let's start from the beginning. So, Wisdom of the Oracle cards, Colette Baron Reid. Time for a Nap is the first card that came up. Okay. The next card that we have is Never Ending Story. Now, both of those cards came up in the last reading that I did for you as well, so they're obviously very pertinent to you. Building Blocks, To the Sea, and No Place Like Home, which has come up in, that's the card, but it's come up in reverse. I haven't been doing reversals, but I've had a lot of them come up, so I'm going to work with the fact that these are reversals as well. You'll have to excuse the light. It's very dark here at the moment. It is 20 past 10 in the morning, but the light outside is very, very dark. Okay, lots of scattered energy. The first card that comes up for you is Time for a Nap. This came up in the last reading for you too, and what it was saying was that perhaps it's time for a nap. Perhaps you need to take some time to recover, you need to take some time to nurture yourself, and you need to take some time to look after yourself. Leos are very warm people. Okay, they're very nurturing people and they tend to look after others. I think you might be exhausted. I think you might have had a lot going on and you're tired. What this card to me is an advice card. This is setting the tone for the rest of the reading. And it is saying that you need to take some time for yourself. You need to nurture yourself and look after yourself. And you need to rest. Okay? It's very important that you rest. This one came up next, which is Never Ending Story. And it seems to me that perhaps this has been going on for a long time. This is not a new thing. If you look at her poor, sad little face, she looks like she's absolutely had enough. She looks exhausted. She looks like she's been caught in a rainstorm. She's soaking wet. Perhaps you will get soaking wet in a rainstorm. I don't think that's what it's saying, but it's that real kind of just worn down, just exhausted, just tired of being tired. Okay? And Spirit are saying to you to rest. They are saying to you to rest. This is your sand timer. This card is a 37 card. Add those two together, you get a number 10. So you're coming to the end of this cycle. And if you reduce that down further, it becomes a 1. Now, this, so it's telling you it's coming to the end of this cycle. And you need to just look after yourself. There's not much time left in here. The sand is running through. So no matter how you're feeling at the moment, Leo, it's coming to the end of that cycle for you. No matter how exhausted you are, no matter how tired you are, take some rest, look after yourself, and it's coming to the end of the cycle. So, and that is confirmed by this card, which is building blocks. Now, again, we have 28, which is another 10. Reduce it down again, and it's a 1. And you are here. Okay, you have been building, you've been trying to build something that's very solid construction. And quite often to me, she looks like she's posing. But in this, she looks like she's scratching her head. She's like, oh my God, what do I do now? And there is that sense of it. And whatever she's building is kind of building up in her too. So maybe the stress has been building, maybe the exhaustion's been building, maybe you've been working on something that has been building. But it has been affecting you quite deeply because whatever this project is affecting you internally. Okay, so it may be affecting you emotionally, it may be affecting you energetically. Whatever it is, it has been affecting you as a person as well as whatever it is that you're trying to build. And again, it's coming to the end of that cycle. Okay, it's a 10, and again, it reduces down to a 1. So it's confirming the same thing. Whatever this is, this anxiety, this stress, this exhaustion, whatever it is, it has been building, and you need to take some time for you. And this is what this card is saying. This is number 7 card, and it reminds me of, I'm just trying to think, my brain's not very clear. It reminds me of the tarot card, I think it's a 6 of Swords, where she's moving away. She's moving in a particular direction, okay? She's going in the right direction. She's just resting, okay? She's resting and letting it go. She's going with the flow, she's going with the current, and it's taking her in the right direction. Again, she doesn't look very happy at this time. She doesn't look very happy. She looks tired. She looks exhausted. So maybe you just need to stop trying so hard and go with the flow, and it will take you where you need to go. Okay. Yeah, the six of Swords card is about moving into less turbulent waters. So you're moving to a calmer place, I think. But in order to do this, you need to let go of whatever this thing is. You need to let go, you need to look after yourself, and you need to be taking care of yourself. You have no place like home. Okay. And it came through in reverse. So for some of you, and it's also a 5 card, and it's a 10 card, okay, because it's 50. 5s are a number of conflict, 10s are the end of a cycle. So if you've been having issues at home, if you've been having arguments and conflict at home, it's telling you again that it's coming to the end of a cycle. There is a light shining. You have a beacon there. Okay. You have the beacon there shining out. Perhaps your home life has been the thing that's been keeping you sane and keeping you safe away from conflicts, perhaps at work or in your external environment. Or it could be that you've been having conflicts at home, but they're coming to an end. So that's your reading for the first part of the week. It's quite a heavy reading, Leo. I'll pull a couple of advice cards at the end, okay? And we'll see what you can do. This is a very strong advice card. This is time for a nap. You need to be nurturing yourself. And it's telling you that whatever this is, it's coming to an end, and you're starting to move into smooth waters. Okay. The second part of the week we have Y, which is 31. So not immediately seeing any significance in the number. Then we have blessed. And this is a card of balance for me. The fact that it's a 22 card, because 2 is an even number, and 2 is an even number, and there are 2 of them, okay? And then we have mending. I'm feeling like there's another card that's missing from the beginning of this. Beginning of this spread. So let's pull another card for you. I said I was going to pull you a clarifier card. The never-ending story and time for a nap were in different positions before I moved them, but I can't remember where they were, and I think that's possibly why we need another card at the beginning of this spread. So let's have another look. Maybe you're losing things as well. Maybe you are losing it. It seems to me that you are very, very, not foggy-headed. Foggy-headed is the wrong thing. Just not your usual organised self, perhaps. And it's asking why. It's asking why, because you have all these blessings. And you're mending. And it feels like that could be a really positive reading. But there's something about it. There we go. Okay, chaos and conflict. This is where we are. And this is a 33 card, okay? It could be that this is a third-party situation. You have 2 3s there. Perhaps a third-party situation on both sides. Third-party situations don't always have to be romantic ones, okay? It could be that it could be to do with family. It could be to do with work. It could be to do with everything. So don't automatically assume that your parent, interesting. Don't automatically assume that your partner is in a 3-party relationship if you know that you're not. It could be anything. It could be to do with work. It could be to do with family, okay? But there is something about 3 and 3. Perhaps you're having issues with your children. Perhaps your children are friends with people that you don't want them to be friends with, and there is a conflict about it. Perhaps your children are having issues with each other and you're in the middle of it. Perhaps your children are having issues with your partner and you're in the middle of it. It feels to me like you are in the middle of it. There is something breaking down. This came up for Virgo as well. There is something breaking down, and somebody is showing their true colours. Okay, or something is changing, somebody is changing. If you have teenage children, it could be for you. It could be that they're coming into their own. If you have hormonal girls, I'm getting, it could be that they're coming into their own. They're changing. It may be to do with the age. They may be early teenagers. Your child may be in a transition phase, and at that point things get a little bit challenging sometimes. And this may have led to the conflict at home. For some of you, it may be a third-party romantic situation. The fact that there's 2 3s here means that maybe both of you are doing it. And you need to make a decision as to what you're going to do about it. Okay, then we have the why card. And this implies to me that you need to be asking why. Why is this happening? So maybe you're having a conversation with people. Maybe you're spending some time in introspection. Maybe you... If it's a romantic situation, okay, if it's a romantic situation, you have a 3 and a 3, okay, and then it goes down to a 3 and a 1. So maybe one of you is coming out of a 3-way situation, the other person's staying in it. One of you is coming out of it and going, okay, I don't want either of you, okay, I'm just going to be me, I'm going to do my own thing, you can sort yourselves out. So it could be if your partner's having involved in a 3-way situation, you might just be like, do you know what, go for it, just go for it. It's not the first time it's happened. This is why there's 3 and a 1. It's not the first time it's happened, so just go, because if you don't want to be here, just go, okay, just go. I don't understand why you're doing this, just go. I want to be on my own, just go. So maybe that's you, maybe that's your partner. If it's a family situation, maybe you're all sitting down together and you're talking to this person. And maybe you're saying, why? What's going on? What is happening? The resolution, and this feels like a resolution card, is blessed. Okay. It could be you have this 22, so we've gone from a 33, it's a romantic situation, we've gone from a 33 to 2-way situations, to a 31, to a 22. So perhaps you sit down and you have this conversation with your partner, and it seems to me you're not going to have one conversation. If this has happened before, this isn't going to be one conversation. Okay, this is going to be over a period of time that you're going to resolve this. But perhaps you make the decision, okay, it's going to stop. We're going to stay together, we're going to work on it, and we're going to be fine. Or perhaps, if you're both in a 3-way situation, you choose to be with the other person, they choose to be with the other person, and you just go your separate ways. So perhaps that's the situation. But there seems to be a balance coming in. Okay, if it's a family situation, there seems to be a balance coming in, and things seem to be resolving, and I'm being drawn back to the no place like home and the fact that it's coming out of conflict. Okay, so I'm being drawn back to that again. And we have mending. We have mending. So, and this card always reminds me of those tin can things, you know, the bit in the middle here, always reminds me of those tin can things, those tin can phones where you put it up to your ear and there's a wire and you use it like a phone. It always reminds me of that. There may be children involved. If it's a 3-way situation, there may be children involved, and you may be having to deal with the aftermath of that. Perhaps. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe one of you maybe you're going your separate ways and one of you is taking the children. So we have a 5 and a 2. So two of them go off together, and you or your partner takes the children and they go off together and they're the 5. So there's them, their partner and the children. Maybe that's what's happening. But one way or the other, you are getting a balance. Okay, by the end of I'm not saying by the end of October, because that's not necessarily true. I can imagine this is going to run into November. You're not going to have one conversation and decide, yeah, okay, it's all fine again now suddenly. If it's a three-way situation. If it's a family situation, it might be quite easily resolved. So yeah, oh my goodness. Let's do something cheerful, okay? We're going to put those cards to one side. We have the no place like home. At the end of this reading, at the end of the time that this works out within, things are looking much better, okay? You are resolving the situation, things are coming to a head, they're being dealt with, and you are moving forward. You're coming out of conflict. You have the no place like home card, and you have blessed, and you have mending. So you are coming out of this period of being tired and exhausted, a period of chaos and conflict, and you're coming out of it, and then you have those other three cards. So actually, it's a really good reading for you. I know it feels a little bit heavy, and the feeling that I'm getting from it is that it's a little bit heavy. And I'm feeling tired and exhausted while I'm reading for you. And the two cards that we have for you is Change in the Wind, which is essentially just telling you that you can handle this, okay? This clock tower must be incredibly heavy, but it's not bothering this giraffe at all carrying it. So there may be changes afoot, but you can handle them. And then we have the Fates. And you have all these opportunities in front of you. You may not be seeing them yet, but you have all these opportunities in front of you. She's pulling them down, so it might take a period of time. She's pulling them down. The one in front of her is beautiful, but she's not seeing it. She's not seeing it. But she's being guided. She's guiding herself up here, so there are all these opportunities. Leo, it's a really good read for you. It is a really good read for you. I know you're feeling tired. I know you're feeling exhausted, but it is actually a really good positive read for you. By the end of this time period, which I feel is not the 31st of October, I feel this is kind of leading into November. I think you're going to come out in a much better place, but you need to look after yourself, okay? You need to look after yourself. You need to rest, and you need to recuperate is the word that I'm getting. You need to look after yourself. You need to let people nurture you, and you need to nurture yourself. I think you've been giving too much. I think you have been giving too much, and it's worn you out. So that's what I have for you. I will be back in November. Once these bi-weeklies are done, I will be doing daily readings again. I'm not sure if I'm going to do them on here or on the Facebook channel, which again is Tarot by the Sea. I may do both for a little while. Anyway, Leo, thank you very much. I just want to say thank you very much to my friend Sarah, who asked me for this reading this morning. I put the readings on Facebook last night, and she came straight through, and she was just like, yeah, go chick. And yeah, and then she is always really supportive. She's amazing. So Sarah, thank you very much for your support. It really is appreciated. Much love to you. I will speak to you in November. Keep your chin up, okay? Look after yourself. Lots of nice bubble baths and the things that make you happy. All right, lots of love to you. Bye.